Hello, class. This is my weekly video that it's kind of I call it my feel good video, pick you up. So this video is going to be very positive in general, and I talk about new things that are going on in the world of science and especially chemistry. And I'll take recent-ish articles, and usually I get them from Chemical Engineering News. That's the American Chemical Society's weekly magazine. Sometimes I get it from the UH alerts. It just depends what's going on. And this one is from last month, about Pele's hairs. So, of course, if you read the article, you can see, they kind of talk about Pele's hairs, because for the rest of the United States, they don't really know what that means. Of course, for us, we have the privilege. We can go look at them like the Bishop Museum or the Jagger Museum on the Big Island. It's really easy for us to go see them, and it's interesting to go and see them. And I mean, when I've been to the eruptions, you can really feel the kind of glassiness in the air sometimes. I usually bring a respirator with me when I go, because of that. Usually it doesn't bother me, but sometimes the fog gets too thick, and then I put it on. But also with this eruption, there was a recent UH news that's talking about it because Kilauea is erupting now, and Mauna Loa is no longer erupting, and that further suggests that these two volcanoes have similar plumbing, that they have a common source, and so we're still trying to figure this out. But this article here talks about Pele's hair and how the composition of Pele's hair can help backtrack with the type of eruption, how the temperature of the lava, like so forth. So it's with science, we're just learning more, and this is something that we're still learning, still understanding. So I think it's an interesting read. It's also nice because this is a national uh, society, and it talks about local things, like something that locally happened here. And if you were my student last semester, I talked about this for a couple of weeks. When the eruption happened, I'm like, oh, let's talk about the chemistry of that. And chemistry is the study of matter and its changes. So chemistry has its foothold in many, many other subjects, and including geology and volcanology. So, also with all my messages, I always tell you to, like, if you need any help, let me know. Not just academic help. Things like if you have your basic needs not being met. And so for me, it's a two-way street. I want you to do well. You want to do well. And there's no way that you can do well if you are having housing insecurities, if you're having food insecurities. If you know Maslow's hierarchy of needs, there's just no way that you have to focus on your basic needs, and if those are not being met, then there's just no way you can be successful. So if you find yourself in that situation, please let me know. We have lots of programs. So the nice thing about myself being a faculty member is that whenever someone needs help, and like if I talk to somebody, like, people will bend over backwards to help me or help you students with something. So that's something I've noticed. So if you have any of those issues, also mental health. So I remember at the beginning of the pandemic, basic needs were a big thing. They're still a big thing, but much of that is equilibrated, and many of us are dealing with mental health issues, either acute or chronic. And if you're having any of these mental health issues, so acute short term, chronic long term, feel free to come talk to me about that, especially acute anxiety or something like that. If that's, everything, all of them, of course, but how can you focus on school if you're dealing with these other things? So we have lots of support services. So uh, if anything like that happens to you, let me know, and I will do my best to connect you up with the right type of people, or anything else. You can think of me as your front man, your concierge for services. So, and I personally believe that that's what my role as a faculty member is evolving to. It's not just a subject expert and communicating that subject to you. It's also motivating you to do well in my class and other classes, and also to care for you and to look after you in this way, to connect you up, to be a connector, especially to services. And if you want to talk about other things, if you want to talk about career stuff, I can help you with that as well. I have an engineering degree and a science degree, so we can talk about that if you're thinking about academic pathways. Of course, I won't lie to you. If you start asking questions, I don't know it on, and it goes outside of my field of expertise, I'll of course refer you to other people. We do have other people you can talk to, but well, the nice thing about talking to me is I am a scientist, and the other people we talk to, they're more like academic counselors, so they're kind of into packaging you up in a box and sending you on your way, like this is the coursework you need to do, that kind of thing. So I bring a little bit more experience in the realm of science and engineering, but also understand that I'm a very strong physical scientist. Biology is not my strong point, for instance. So, and there's other career pathways I don't know about, of course, business, for instance. But my services are there for you. So, and I hope this message finds you very well. Hope you are getting ready for the weekend, surviving the first week of class. Oh, and I mentioned the class. Some students have asked me questions. So when you look at mastering chemistry, and it gives you time, nothing is timed. Okay, so like there is no time limit or time constriction. There is no, you can take as much time as you want on all the assessments, tests, homework. So don't worry. The time that's put on mastering, it's how long mastering thinks it'll take you. So if it says the problem 18 minutes, it doesn't mean you have 18 minutes to do the problem. It means most students take 18 minutes to do the problem. So you kind of know, like, okay, do I watch this instead of watching my episode of Vikings Valhalla, or do I watch it afterwards? Or do it afterwards. That's the kind of thing that's used for, not because you only have that much time to do things. So, okay, and about the first week, because lots of students drop and add these courses, and the assignments, they're pretty easy. What I'm doing is I'm checking for attendance, and once the drop add period ends, then things are going to get a little more intense. So keep that in mind. Don't think about working ahead, but we'll sort things out as they go along. So okay, so please let me know if you need anything, like I said. And I hope you enjoy this article and enjoy the rest of your week classes and weekend. So, aloha.